Real estate prices have skyrocketed in some cities, leaving reality in the dust. There hasn't been this euphoria in the real estate market since the subprime crisis. Today we witness limited pockets absolutely annihilating any previous assumption of how high prices can go. The only question is, who can afford these prices? You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Today we are going to look at real estate, particularly in the San Francisco area. I want to show you what has happened. I have so many indicators to look at today. It's going to make your head spin. So we'll get into it right away. But first I want to look at this. Salary you need to afford the average home in your state. This is based on a 30-year mortgage with a 10% down payment. And you will see that there are definitely varying degrees of affordability here, whether you're looking at California at $120,000 or maybe you want to look at Florida at $70,000, and anywhere in between you will see definitely some variances that are here. This may be interesting for you if you're looking to move to another state, or if you're currently in a state, you want to see the prices. Definitely keep an eye out. A lot of people live near the borders of particular states and often find it much more affordable to simply move a little drive, and they have much more affordability in their life. Looking at this, top 5 places where you need the highest salaries to afford the average home. Hawaii tops the list, Washington, D.C. as well on there, and then the top 5 places where you need the lowest salaries to afford the average home: West Virginia, Ohio, Michigan, and others. So that's interesting for many people out there, I know, because this information is just constantly evolving as time goes on. You can see this here. All right, now taking a look at this, as I said, I'm going to have the heavy focus right now on San Francisco. They have done a report here, Paragon Real Estate Group. The link, of course, will be in the description under sources. But they had this report, and there was like 100 different charts, and I grabbed a few that I thought were very important from there, and so we'll look at those today. Average annual interest rates, 30-year conforming loans by year 1981 to present. Obviously, since that time frame, we have seen the real estate boom as a result of what has happened with interest rates. It's been a direct result. Yes, there have been some ups and downs along the way, but ultimately that has been the trajectory. So you can see here for yourself. Now there has been a little uptick in the interest rates recently, but it is nothing compared to where they were historically, obviously. San Francisco Housing Affordability Index since 1991. This presents itself with a very big problem because the average individual, quite frankly, cannot afford a home. You can see this specifically. They mark different points on the charts here, which I find very good. You can see that in 2007, the peak of the market right there, where everything was euphoric and everyone believed that prices could go higher and higher and higher. But of course, that turned around very fast. Then you look at the same situation today. There is an affordability level that, for some individuals don't want to believe it, but if the monthly payments become too high for people, quite frankly, they have to walk away from their home. They begin to rent homes again, and this happened back in 2008, and it will happen again. There's no doubt about that. San Francisco and overbidding of asking prices. Now, you may live in a big city somewhere, and I'm sure that you experience this same thing. It's particularly with detached homes where you'll find the overbidding is absolutely crazy, where you see some individuals overbidding, 40%, even more sometimes, where they go into some, it's like some sort of auction for a collectible or something, because they just feel like there's never going to be another chance to get this particular item again. And this presents us with this overbidding. And you can see the percentages here in housing, detached homes. You'll see it at 114%, and it's fluctuating, of course, but ultimately the trend is upward. San Francisco Bay Area employment trends. Now, I thought this was quite bullish to begin with. You could see it here clearly on the rise, year after year after year. That's a good sign, right? Unfortunately, what we find is that a lot of these people that are working in this area cannot afford their homes. They cannot afford to make ends meet. Forget about the home. not even to be able to make ends meet. They work in low-paying jobs, and a lot of these jobs are temporary work. So it's not a good thing when you have the most expensive area, most expensive for real estate and other things, rent as well, and then you find that they unfortunately can't afford their living expenses. You have a recipe for disaster. So either the wages need to come up, the full-time employment needs to come up, or prices need to come down. But eventually everything reverts to the mean. Looking at the 5-county metro area population trends, just want to show you this again. Increasing population, more people, that means more jobs are needed, but we don't have that sense of prosperity that should be present, and that's not a good thing. Mortgage interest rate trends in 2016, here you'll see it rising. Looking at the average mortgage now, well over 4%, and I think that once it crosses that 5% barrier, we're going to have a very big problem. I don't think a lot of people can afford that 5% mortgage. It's a lot lower in areas like even Canada, for example. You look in Europe, it's significantly lower, and that allows this to continue on. Now, many people believe that simply the government will, if they see that prices are coming down, there's a problem, they'll just reduce the interest rates, allow it to continue on, and that might be, in the short term, might be okay in terms of their goals of getting prices to rise. But in order to bring the prices higher by reducing interest rates, they have to use what's called open market operations. Open market operations is essentially printing money. So when you print money, you devalue the currency, you debase it, just like they did back in the Roman times, just in the great inflation of Athens. You can't mistake it. Every currency will be destroyed, and in this case here, this is a global central bank devaluation of all currencies, and it will happen again. Whether it happens because of this issue or another, it's simply a matter of time. San Francisco home price appreciation, median house and condo sales price 2012 to present. Look at this, $1.6 million for the San Francisco median sales price. I mean, that is insane. Condos are almost $1.2 million. It's not stopping. It's going up and up and up. And that's chasing the euphoria. But guess what? These people are eventually going to be the same situation that subprime was back in 2007. Many people thought, I'm not buying a subprime home, so I don't have to worry about the subprime crisis. But of course, that wasn't the case. Homes all over the world were affected by what happened with subprime. You cannot escape what's going to happen. Average dollar per square foot on sale, looking at this, over $1,100 here in 2018. That's insane. That's not normal. That's euphoria. No matter how you take a look at this in the condo market, single family stretching up to nearly $1,000 per square foot. It's quite amazing to see how high the prices have come, because you need to look at it price per square foot. That is very important, because you can then adjust, different areas around the world have different sizes for the average home, and when you go price per square foot, it tends to make everything very standardized. Look at, for example, Manhattan, you're going to get a tiny unit, but you look at somewhere in the middle of the country, you're going to get probably bigger space. San Francisco median home price appreciation. Here you'll see the median sales prices going up into no man's land. This right here, the S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller home prices, all 20 cities up year over year. That's not necessarily a good thing. If we had prosperity, it would be good. Unfortunately, not the case right now. Las Vegas, 11% increase. San Francisco, 10% increase. Seattle led the way with a 13% increase. If you think that's sustainable to have charts that go like this, you got something else coming. That's ridiculous to see that kind of level. The same thing that was experienced in Toronto leading up towards about April of 2017, and now things have really changed. But you had seen the biggest bubble, and then people realize, oh, wait a minute, I can't actually afford this home, and things change very quickly. Now, what do? You move into a more affordable housing. Well, look at these individuals. People have stopped paying their mobile home loans, and it's a warning sign for the economy. There are more delinquencies now than there were previously. UBS did some research finding that the 30-day plus delinquency level is now above 5%. This is the highest level since 2005. The same patterns are repeating, and that is not a good sign, all right? Mobile homes, that's affordable housing or more affordable housing, and unfortunately, average person is unable to pay the bills. Average commute to work by state and city. I thought this was interesting and sort of related. Wanted to give you an idea of this. Visualcapitalist.com, great site. I show you diagrams from this all the time. Total average commuting time in each state. You can go around and see the state for yourself. Average commuting time nationwide is 26.6 minutes. If you live in a big city, that right there is not the case. I'm sure it's a lot more than that. But taking a look around, you'll see different areas, whether it's, New York here. Right now, looking at how much time it takes, whether that's commuting through cars and everything else. It's just the average commute time. I thought it would be interesting just to put here at the end. If you want to see your state or anything else, all you need to do is go over to visualcapitalist.com. If you can't see yours on here, visualcapitalist.com, and take a look. It's right on the main page, or go to the sources in this video. If you found this video informative, please give me a thumbs up. We got 100,000 subscribers on here. I want to say again, thank you to each and every one of you. Make sure you click that subscribe button. Make sure you click that like button, and we can continue this channel on for a long time. I want to bring these videos to you. I want to bring it concisely and quickly as I possibly can. You know that I do that every single day pretty much. So that's all for this video. If you found the video informative, I know you'll find my books, The Money GPS, and my newer release, Global Economic Collapse, even more informative. You can actually flip through these books. If you go over to Amazon, there's a look inside feature. It's going to allow you to flip through the pages of these books to see if you like them. Take care.